Hello, my name is Tatiana Richard, and I'm here to discuss with you the 6 categories that were listed in the text and how these 6 categories may affect the therapy process using my family genealogy as an example. First, we're going to discuss the family structure. The family structure for my family consists of my mother, my brother, 2 older brothers, and myself. We are a tight-knit family. We were always together up until about the age of 7 when we were separated. My brothers went to live with my grandmother, and I went to stay with my uncle and his girlfriend, now wife, and was eventually adopted by them. I stayed with them about 3 years, and I went back home with my grandmother so I can have a better relationship with my brothers. Okay, the life cycle and patterns that are affect my generation and the generations of the past. One thing I've noticed about my family is my brother and I were raised by grandmother. My mother was raised by her grandmother, and my grandmother was raised by one of her older sisters. Also, I noticed about the women in my family. They were all teen moms. They did not finish high school because of this. They had to drop out and take care of their children. So I made the conscious decision that I was going to change the cycle and not be a teen mom, finish school, and accomplish great things in my life. One thing I did accomplish this was I became more focused on my studies and focused on work. With that being said, till this day, I am what you consider a workaholic. I tend to put work before my family, even my health at times. Reason for this is because one particular life event that occurred in my life, which when I was younger, we lived in low-income housing, and at one point in time, we were homeless. We had no food. We didn't know where our next meal was coming from. And because we lived in poverty, I have a fear that I will go back to that time and place. So to prevent that, I begin to work. So I constantly work because of my fear of that, and I never wanted to experience that time again. I never wanted my future children to experience poverty in their lives. Patterns and triangles that affect my family throughout the generations. I was abused as a child by a family member. During this time when this incident occurred, my mother was at a party, and the next day after the incident occurred, I attempted to tell her, but she pretty much kind of like pushed me to the side. She didn't have time to listen. For years, I resented my mother because of this, because her job was to protect me. And at one point, I felt as if I wasn't loved. I wasn't receiving the love from my mother, and I just completely shut down. After speaking with my mother, she told me the story of when she was a child and she was abused. She went to her mother, which is my grandmother, and told her about it, and my grandmother pretty much shut her down the same way she did. And she completely shut down. Because of this, she had no way or did not know how to express herself emotionally. She never talked about it. And because she never talked about it, she didn't express it herself emotionally any way, shape, or form. I wasn't taught that. I was not taught that. So I myself shut down. To this day, I don't know how to express myself emotionally. One thing that we struggle with, my mom, my family, but especially me and my mom, is we never talk about what's bothering us, what's hurting us. We always hold it in. One thing that was drilled in me, that my mom told me, the past is the past. You can't change it. Just move forward. And interesting, her grandmother told her the same thing, which her grandmother stated, you can't change the past and you can't change it now. So just move forward. So with that being said, and in the therapy session, that can affect the outcome of the therapeutic procedure if one person does not know how to express themselves. They don't know how to open up and let the other party know that something is bothering them. Family functioning, important dates like anniversary dates that we hold on to is my great grandmother's birthday. She was born May the 27th. So around that time every year, we will have a family reunion. That is one of the few days that I will take off actually to spend with the family, to learn more about my family history, and just have a good time. But also in the back of my mind, I am worried about, I missed this job, or how much money did I miss out on? Because like I said before, have that fear of going back into poverty, which I absolutely do not want. So it's at the time it consumes me to where, like I said, my relationship with my family is affected because I can't participate in family events because I'm so concerned about not living in poverty. Family balances and structure. Right now we are at a good place. My family and I, my mom, my brothers, both my brothers are married with children. They vow to raise their children in a 2-parent household. Vow to be there in their kids' life. Pretty much they are doing the exact opposite of what was given to us. So they overshower their children with love, and they're always there every event or anything of that nature. My role as the aunt, I just play the aunt who spoils the kids all the time. My mom and myself, we are in a good place. It's still a work in progress, but we communicate a little bit more than what we used to. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Have a good day.